Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you know how I bleed. I do this for my little boys, cause they look up to me. Cup real muddy and blunt real stuffy. I'm in here.
I started to open the door and a cop come running up and told me, close your door, stay inside, stay inside. And they all went down that way.
We just was talking in the yard 15 minutes before it even happened. And to come out my home and to see this was devastation.
When all the police converged down there, he came out of the house shooting.
Julie saw helicopters, an armored vehicle, and officers in tactical gear during a standoff.
I still feel like I'm in a bad movie. I feel like I'm in somebody's script. It does not feel real.
He woke up the devil. It was stuff that I never would wish on anybody. It was just horrible.
I really believe that this was something really demonic that kind of got over him, not just even mental or anything like that, because this is just not of his character. It just really was not.
Tuesday, March 28th, 2023. Police responded to the 5400 block of Mason Manor Drive in Richmond, VA. There had been a report of a shooting after someone in the home called 911. Upon arrival, police would discover 3 victims, 2 women and 1 male juvenile, and all 3 would be taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. At the time of this recording, all 3 remain hospitalized in critical condition.
A shooting in a home on Henrico's East End leaves 3 people, including a child, in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. And now police are asking for the public's help finding their suspect.
Henrico police are looking for 26-year-old Tiye Adam Washington II. Crime Insider sources tell me after his mother threatened to put him out of the house, he came to this home to unleash violence on his mom, sister, and younger brother.
Henrico police say just before 7:30 last night, they were called to Mason Manor Drive for a reported shooting. There, 2 adults and a child were found with shot wounds. They were taken to the hospital where they're still recovering. Police this afternoon say they're looking for Tiye Adam Washington II in relation to the case.
The night of March 28th, Walker Jewett says Taisha Hall was shot by her oldest son, Tiye Washington, inside their home. Walker Jewett says she received a call from another friend who was on the phone with Hall that night, right before it happened.
Says Washington stormed in the house about an hour and a half later and started shooting while another young child in the house, she says a 10-year-old, called 911.
They were a close family, a loving family, so I don't know what happened. I don't know. And I just pray for him too, though.
According to reports, the suspect, who was identified as 26-year-old Tiye Adam Washington II, who happened to be the son of one of the victims, broke into his mom's home after a small dispute they had earlier that afternoon. Once in the home, shots were fired, bullets striking his mother Taisha Hall, his 21-year-old sister, and his 12-year-old brother. He then fled the scene, with police launching a citywide search.
He woke up the devil. It was stuff that I never would wish on anybody. It was just horrible.
I really believe that this was something really demonic that kind of got over him, not just even mental or anything like that, because this is just not of his character. It just really was not.
Washington is on the run. Sources tell me the car he was driving was found in Rutherford County, North Carolina, Wednesday afternoon.
Washington was wanted in Henrico for Tuesday's triple shooting on Mason Manor Drive. 2 women and a juvenile were shot and rushed to the hospital. At last check, they are still being treated for their injuries.
Police say Washington should be considered armed and dangerous.
Tiye, you're like my nephew, and I love you, and I still love you, and I don't know what happened and what went wrong, but just turn yourself in for your mom and your sister and your brother. It's the right thing to do.
She's my sister, blood can't make us closer, and to see her like this is so heartbreaking.
Wednesday morning, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office started searching for Tiye when they received an alert that he may be in North Carolina. Police would later find his car, but they didn't find him inside. By early Thursday morning, the Rutherford Sheriff's Office located Tiye, and there was an exchange of gunfire. Police said that during this exchange of gunfire, Tiye was struck and later pronounced deceased. There was also a deputy that was shot, and that deputy also remains in the hospital.
According to the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office, they were contacted yesterday by authorities in Henrico County, Virginia, and they alerted the sheriff's office here that a triple Suspect 26-year-old Tiye Washington was possibly in the area. Washington was wanted in relation to a domestic-related triple shooting of 2 adult women and a juvenile in Henrico County, Virginia.
On Wednesday, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office got an alert that Washington may be in North Carolina. Deputies found his car, but not him.
But deputies say in the early morning hours of today, there was an exchange of gunfire with Washington. A deputy was injured and Washington was shot, later on scene.
I started to open the door and a cop come running up and told me, close your door, stay inside, stay inside. And they all went down that way.
A manhunt for a triple shooting suspect in Henrico ends in North Carolina. Authorities say Tiye Adam Washington II is dead, and a deputy is hurt after an exchange of gunfire in Rutherford County.
When all the police converged down there, he came out of the house.
Julie saw helicopters, an armored vehicle, and officers in tactical gear during a standoff between law enforcement and 26-year-old Tiye Adam Washington II.
It woke us all up. We all immediately jumped out of the bed and run to the door. Those gunshots were loud. Whew, they were loud enough to wake the dead.
Now, I don't know what they putting in the food and the water these days, but I remember there was a time that we could cut on the TV and we could hear a story such as this one, and we never had to guess, what is it, one of us? But these days you hear a tragic story like this one, and you gotta stop and think. Now, I'm not sure if we could blame this one on mental illness, because I mean, there had to be something going on. He's 26, living at home with moms, and his only inspiration is to be a rapper. Now, coming up as a kid, yes, there's times that I was upset with moms. I even called her a few names in my head, but them names never left my lips, and I certainly never entertained the idea of causing harm to her. So I'm almost positive it had to be the drugs, cause I mean, come on, you shot your siblings too. But I don't know, man, y'all let me know what y'all think about this tragic story down in the comments. And if you haven't already, man, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm bringing that heat, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one.
You gotta love yourself inside a world full of people hating. You gotta heal yourself every time you start to overthink it. You gotta find a reason to keep going when you feel like breaking. Had to tell myself I'm great, I'm strong, I'm brave enough to face it.
I'ma sip all night till the pain gone. I'm knowing that they hate me since I came round. I've been loyal as fuck to the end of